Studying abroad is not just about academia, jobs, and careers, but much more, like being independent, personality development, making friends globally, learning about different cultures, traveling, and many more enriching, unforgettable experiences. Hook on to our episodes of Student Spotlight and get fruitful insights about our students who share their beautiful journeys with you. In today's episode, we have Gayatri with us, who is from Pune and is doing her BSc Psychology from City University, London. Do hear a discussion on what it takes to be a practicing psychologist in the UK or in India. Vital information for students who are aspiring to study psychology. Let's hear her story.
Hi guys, I'm Gayatri Deshmukh and I am currently studying psychology here at City University of London. I'm currently in my third year and going back to my education. So my primary education since like first grade to 10th grade has been in Vidya Valley School, which is in Pune. And in my 10th grade boards, I scored 82%. After which I went to Indus International School, Pune, which is an IB board school. And over there, in my 12th grade, I scored 34 IB points out of 45. After which I came here at City University of London, where I'm currently studying. And it has been amazing so far, like my whole education journey. It has always just been a step up.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. So, you studied IB, right? Like you
Correct.
mentioned. So, was the transition very good from IB to coming to a UK, university? Because I've heard, like when we have CBSE students or the state board students, they have struggled sometimes in,
Yeah.
adapting to the new ways of learning here, right? So,
Yeah.
how was that?
No, so for me, in year one, it was quite good. Like, it was quite easy to slowly shift into this curriculum because, so in IB, we have something called extended essay, which is like a 4,000 word research-based essay, secondary research still. And then we also have theory of knowledge essay, which is another component. So all of these things in IB have shaped us to easily slide into the UK curriculum, as far as I can say. So, comparatively for me, it has been easy compared to like if you say CBSE students or otherwise. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So, the next question I have is what all universities did you apply for and why did you choose City?
So, in my UCAS, I applied for 5 universities. So, the universities were City University of London, King's College London, Royal Holloway, University of Nottingham, and University of Westminster. I got into all 4 except King's, and my best bet was City, which is why I chose City.
Okay.
But yeah, I would have really liked to be a part of King's College London because psychology over there and psychiatry over there is world famous. It's one of the best universities. It's the second best actually, if you look it up in the world.
Which is the first?
First, I'm not really sure, but
Okay.
it's somewhere in the US. It's
Okay,
not-
okay. Okay, in the world, so King's is second.
Second, yeah.
So, how is it with City, right? How's your course? Are you satisfied?
I am quite satisfied with my course in City because it also gets
Accreditation.
accreditation, yes. Academically also, like I'm really happy with my professors and the way they have, laid out the whole system of tutorials, seminars, coursework, and mostly I have to do courseworks. I don't really have exams, so it's mostly essays. So if you're doing psychology, you need to be prepared for writing a lot of essays throughout all 3 years.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, right.
Yeah.
What kind of practical exposure do you get during the course?
So practical exposure mostly comes in year 3, where we have to, when we decide to do our dissertation, it depends on what we're doing, but we can use, some like EEG and stuff, like we have some facilities which can be used, but otherwise the whole course is sort of designed to give practical experiences, which is why we don't really have exams. So right now, currently I'm working on something called PAR, which is Participant Action Research. And we need to design a research, basically. Right now, we are not supposed to conduct it because that is something that's done at PhD level. But you get really good hands-on experience.
No,
What I would like to
okay,
say. Yeah.
that's nice. So you mentioned about BPS accreditation, right? So not all psychology courses are accredited by BPS.
I don't think in all universities. It depends on what course you pick also. Now, I chose BSc Psychology. So I'm not really sure if, if you choose BA Psychology, if you would get that accreditation.
Okay. And that accreditation is necessary for you to be practicing as a psychologist?
Yes, it is necessary in the UK for you to be practicing psychology afterwards.
Okay. And what do you need to do to get that accreditation? Do you have to apply, or because you're studying this course at City, you automatically, is it just a formality, or you got to clear an exam too?
No, sir. Before you pick your universities, you have to research which courses offer this accreditation. And my course did,
Okay.
which is why I chose it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so you didn't have to apply for the
No,
membership
there was
separately?
no external application, or I didn't have to do anything for it.
Okay,
Yes.
nice. So what happens after you complete your graduation, which you're graduating this year, right? I'm sure it's not
Yes.
a very best, it's not the best feeling to have.
Yeah.
But what are your plans? Are you planning to get into a master's or look for jobs?
No, I'm planning to pursue a master's right after.
Oh,
So
nice.
I have applied to a few universities in London itself because I love this place. I cannot step out of London now.
Right.
Yeah. So I have applied in London only, and yes.
So
I
what universities have you applied?
Again, I've applied only 4 universities. I've applied at King's College London. I've applied at City University as well. I have applied to UCL and Queen Mary.
Okay.
These 4.
Did you receive any offers?
Yes, I have received offers from Queen Mary and City University of
Nice.
London. I'm still waiting for King's and UCL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great. So when you go for these, so when can you actually start working with, as a psychologist,
Practicing
or
psychology.
so what's your plan? Like, you want to,
Okay,
which field you want to work in, and do you require any additional qualifications to do that?
Yes. So I want to do something in clinical psychology. So I have, for my master's also, I have applied for all of those courses. But master's is not necessary in the UK. You can, right after your bachelor's, also start practicing. Then it depends on what roles you get. So one of the roles is assistant psychology, which everyone wants to pursue right after their bachelor's or after their master's. But it's very competitive,
Right.
of course. So my plan is, after my master's, I do want to apply to be an assistant psychologist, and eventually I do want to get a doctorate.
Okay.
Once I get my doctorate, which is of 3 years in the UK, then I will be qualified to be like a clinical psychologist.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yes.
So you have a long journey in
Yeah,
the
a
UK.
long
You're not
study,
planning to
academic journey.
leave UK, especially.
No. So
for any sort of-
right now, my eventual plan is, after my master's, I will apply for assistant psychology, and if and when I do get it, I plan to stay here for a year or two and get my experience. And I'm not 100% sure if I want to get a doctorate right now. That'll see in the future.
Yeah, I mean, one step at a time. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So any advices you would want to give to students who want to apply for undergraduate studies in the UK, maybe specifically in your field, right? Something that you got it right, or something you would have done better. You can, just tell them, because a lot of young students, we get queries. They want to come to UK, but we see a more flow of sort of business, economics kind of students. Psychology is, again, a very niche field when it comes to undergraduate students. I don't find many.
Yeah.
Right. So any advice you think?
Yes. Actually, even in my own university, there are very limited Indian students studying my course. So, but I would highly recommend coming to the UK for psychology right after like your 12th grade. If you do want to come here to pursue psychology, I would say initial bits like do research on BPS, then apply to those courses. If you do want to pursue psychology in the UK or even back in India, because right now when I went back to India, I was just debating whether I want to stay in the UK after my studies or whether I want to go home, because my family is all back at home. The rules are not clear yet. So about whether you can go back to India with this degree and start practicing over there. But eventually, it will be is what I was told. So, because right now also, I recently did an internship this summer in Jupiter Hospital, where I worked with a counseling psychologist and a neuropsychologist. That is where I had most of these discussions about education. And I got clarification on many points which I would like to mention. One is because in India, you need an RCI license to be a practicing psychologist, which can only be issued after if you have an MPhil, Master's in
Right.
Philosophy in India. But the rules are changing, is what I have heard. I cannot guarantee. But eventually, my plan is that I pursue Masters here. I get my work experience and then I do return to India. There where I can start like practicing and I will get more information, but that's my eventual plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good you mentioned about this point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gray area, right? Whether you
Yeah,
can
it
practice or not.
Yeah.
So I remember back in 2022, there was an agreement between India and UK,
Yeah.
A bilateral agreement,
Yeah.
where both the governments agreed that they would recognize, so Indian masters would be recognized in UK and UK masters would be recognized in India, right?
Okay.
Because UK masters is 1 year and most of Indian masters are 2 years.
Yes.
So a lot of students returning from UK going to India used to face a challenge, especially some, I mean, private sector is fine, they do understand, but in government roles, a lot of them used to face a challenge because they had a 1 year master's. So I'm very sure that in 2022, we can look it up online. There was a law passed that there would be, both the masters would be considered on a same level. So I'm also thinking in masters, if you have a master's from the UK, again, not very sure, needs to be researched, but it would be at the same level as a master's in India. But again, that MPhil bit for RCI, I'm sure if there is a lobby going on, because I've heard it too. And we have students who studied masters in UK and gone back. So they wouldn't have just not been working, right? They are working. So I'm sure like that there is a route through which it can be done.
Well, because currently, I mean, psychology, it is quite in gray area, as you said, because the RCI was also issued in 2012.
Okay.
Which is quite recent.
Yeah.
To be recognized as a clinical psychologist, you could only be recognized after 2012.
Yeah.
So there are laws and bills being passed on this.
Right.
So we will get to know the eventual information.
Right. See, eventually the governments do understand if there is like a gray area left for a longer time.
Yeah.
Then it gets resolved. So I hope you have,
because the field is also picking up slowly and steadily in India.
Especially with the mental health awareness.
Yes.
Which was a taboo or a myth in India, for a long time. But now people are talking about it, right? So then that goes by it. So tell me about your journey. So you mentioned you will complete your undergrad now, and then you'll go to masters, and then you'll try and work for a few years, and then you plan to go back.
Yes.
Go back. And if things went well, then you go do a PhD.
Yes.
Okay, great. No, that's nice. If you were to go back in time and change anything, right, to make it better for you, what would you, right? I'm talking, say, 3-5 years back. You want to change anything? Would you change the country? Would you have decided not to come to UK, not in London, not in your university? What would that be?
Okay. So to be honest, I'm very happy to be here. I really like my London life and I really enjoyed thoroughly, both academically, otherwise also. And I feel like I have really grown as a person here. Obviously, when I left home, I was 18. And when I came into this country, there were a lot of responsibilities, right? I mean, at that time, I was very excited because at that time, I just wanted to get away from home. And I was very excited to come to London. And I think since my 8th or 9th grade, I've dreamed of always going abroad for studies. And since then, I had been trying to convince my parents. But obviously, my parents, they were like, go for masters. Maybe bachelor's is too soon. But they also understood me. And then, luckily, even I found a group in which even my parents could trust. And, they were more reluctant on sending me because of, I live with, the flatmates that I live with are my friends from back home. We are also family friends. So our parents know each other from years. So it was very easy to just come here. And and then, you didn't even feel you don't even feel the burden of responsibility.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just all happened very easily.
It was very, because especially when you have your school friends and family friends
Yeah.
from the same city, coming and settling here. So it's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything you would want to change? Say, how about the university?
Yes.
Like you mentioned, you would.
Yeah. I would love to be a part of King's College London, as I said earlier, because it is one of the best. And also, otherwise, the SU Student Union is quite active. They have been doing a lot. And I think because my flatmate is also happens to be the president of Hindu Soc in King's, we do attend a lot of their events. And we are also equally involved in the SU. So I really like that about King's. So the only thing that I would like to go back and change is probably I wish I could have studied a little harder and gotten a better predicted grade to get into King's.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Nice. No, good. If you were to define your student life in one word or a sentence, what would that be?
I would say it was my whole experience until now has been very exhilarating. It has been adventurous and swift in the terms of, as I said, responsibility and living alone, like living without parents. And it's been fun. Like it's been fun exploring all aspects.
So if given a chance, say, going back, if you had an opportunity to study in India versus UK, you would always choose UK?
Yeah, 100%. I would always choose UK. Yes.
Right.
Because you learn so much more, right? It's not just the academics. You learn so much more. And yeah, I feel like...
Especially extracurriculars and, staying independently.
Yeah.
That gives a lot, right? You're on your legs. You can do anything by yourself at a very young age.
Yes.
Which I agree to. Yeah. Are you a part of SU as well at City, or do you work with Student Union?
So, no, but in my first year, I was a student representative for my course, Department of Psychology. And in year 2, I was an assembly member. So, year 3, I haven't really taken up anything.
Studies must be more.
Yeah, like, with the dissertation, because we have a 10,000 word dissertation.
Okay.
We have quite a lot of essays to write. So, third year, I did not take up anything.
All right. Great, Gayatri. It was nice talking to you. I wish you all the best with your future. Thanks for joining us for this episode of TSS. If you enjoyed what you heard, be sure of sharing it with other students and leave us a comment. Your feedback helps us continue to provide valuable content to students everywhere. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world around you. Thank you.